My dear friends, in this fast-paced world where everything is available at the click of a button, from food to friendships, from shopping to success, patience has become an endangered virtue. We want things fast, we want things now, we want life to move according to our timetable. Patience is not just about waiting, it's about how we behave while waiting. In a world that runs on instant gratification, patience has become one of the rarest and most valuable virtues. We want fast food, fast internet, fast success, fast healing, and fast results. But the truth is, the most beautiful things in life, love, growth, wisdom, and success, cannot be rushed. They take time, they need nurturing, they need struggle, and most importantly, they need patience. When you look at nature, you'll never find a tree growing impatient. It simply takes its time. The seed doesn't shout at the soil saying, "Why am I not a tree yet?" It silently trusts the process, knowing that growth is happening even when it's invisible. That's what true patience is. Trusting the unseen progress. Think about the times in your life when you wanted something so badly. A promotion, a relationship to work, a dream to come true, and it just didn't happen on your schedule. You felt frustrated, maybe even hopeless. But later, when things eventually worked out, you realized the timing was perfect. The delay wasn't a punishment, it was protection. Life was preparing you. Sometimes, when something isn't happening, it's because you're not ready for it yet, or it's not ready for you. It's like putting a cake in the oven and expecting it to be done in 2 minutes. If you take it out too early, it collapses. If you give it time, it rises beautifully. That's what patience does. It lets things rise to their best form. In our daily lives, patience shows up in small moments. When you're stuck in traffic, you can choose irritation, or you can use that moment to reflect, breathe, and calm your mind. When someone misunderstands you, you can choose to argue, or you can choose to listen patiently and respond with grace. When your plans fail, you can choose to give up, or you can wait for life to unfold its better version. These small acts of patience build inner strength. They make you calmer, wiser, and more peaceful. Patience is not passive, it's an active form of trust. It says, "I am doing my best, and I trust that life will do the rest." One of the most inspiring examples of patience comes from nature itself. Consider how a caterpillar becomes a butterfly. Inside the cocoon, it struggles, it dissolves, it transforms. If you try to open the cocoon early to help it, the butterfly dies. It needs that time inside. It needs that struggle. The process cannot be rushed. Similarly, in our lives, every challenge we face is shaping us into something greater. When we rush, we miss the depth of what life is trying to teach us. But when we're patient, we grow not just outwardly in success, but inwardly in strength. Patience is also a sign of faith. When you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You water it, you give it sunlight, and you trust. That's what faith looks like in action. The same goes for your dreams. You've planted them. You've worked hard. Now let them grow in their own season. Don't let impatience make you abandon what could have been something extraordinary. Remember, even the sun doesn't rise before dawn. Everything has its perfect time. In relationships too, patience plays a sacred role. People are not machines, they grow, they learn, they make mistakes. Sometimes, We expect others to change overnight, to meet our expectations instantly. But growth doesn't happen that way. Just as we need time to evolve, others do too. Being patient with people doesn't mean tolerating everything, but it means giving them space to become better without constant criticism. When you approach people with patience instead of pressure, you build bonds that are deeper and more genuine. In work, patience is the bridge between effort and achievement. You may be putting in hours, doing everything right, and still not seeing results. It's easy to feel discouraged. But remember the story of the miner who stopped digging just 3 feet before finding gold. He gave up too soon. Success often comes to those who keep going long after others have quit. Patience is what keeps you moving when the results aren't visible yet. It whispers, "Keep going, you're closer than you think." Even when life tests you with delays, disappointments, and detours, patience teaches you to stay grounded. It reminds you that the universe has a rhythm, just like the ocean waves or the beating of your heart. You cannot rush a sunrise or hurry a flower to bloom. Everything unfolds when it's ready. So, the next time you feel anxious, that your dreams are taking too long, pause for a moment and tell yourself, "I'm growing even when I can't see it." That one thought can shift your entire perspective. Patience also brings peace. When you're patient, you stop fighting with time. You stop questioning, "Why me?" and start asking, "What is this teaching me?" That small change turns suffering into growth. It allows you to live with grace. Because when you trust that everything has a purpose, you stop feeling like life is against you. You start realizing that life is for you. You stop forcing doors to open and start trusting that the right ones will open at the right moment. And in that space of patience, miracles happen quietly. You'll see things aligning in ways you never expected. Opportunities will appear out of nowhere. People will show up to help you. Answers will come, not because you chased them, but because you waited faithfully. Patience is not about standing still. It's about standing strong. It's the quiet confidence that what you seek is on its way, and it will come when both you and the moment are ready. So be patient with your dreams, with people, and with yourself. Life is not a race, it's a journey of becoming. Every waiting season is shaping you, preparing you, and strengthening your roots. You might not see the results yet, but deep inside, something beautiful is growing. And when the time is right, it will bloom more perfectly than you ever imagined. So don't rush, trust. Because good things are coming, they always do, for those who wait with faith and patience. Each of us has a unique journey in life, a distinct rhythm that belongs only to us. Yet, most of the time, we forget that. We look at others, our friends, colleagues, or even strangers on social media, and we start comparing our timeline to theirs. We see someone younger than us achieving something big, and suddenly, what we have feels small. We see someone in love, and we start feeling lonely. We see someone living their dream life, and we wonder, why not me? But the truth is, comparing yourself to others is like comparing the moon and the sun. They both shine, but not at the same time. Every flower blooms in its own season, and when you understand this, peace naturally finds its place in your heart. Think about a garden full of different flowers: roses, tulips, sunflowers, and lilies. Each has its own time to bloom. You never see the gardener rushing the rose saying, "The tulip has bloomed, hurry up." The gardener simply nurtures each plant, trusting that when the time is right, each will blossom beautifully. In the same way, life has planted each one of us in different soil, with different conditions, different challenges, and different timing. The beauty of your life does not depend on how fast you bloom, but on how true you stay to your process. When you constantly compare, you stop appreciating your own growth. You start doubting your worth, thinking you are behind, when in reality, you are simply unfolding in your own perfect season. In our daily lives, comparison steals so much joy without us even realizing it. You might see a friend buy a new car and immediately feel you're lagging behind. Or someone gets a promotion and you start questioning your own career path. But what we fail to see is the unseen part of their story. The sacrifices, the sleepless nights, the personal struggles that no one posts about. Everyone has their hidden battles. When you compare, you're looking only at the highlight reel of someone else's life while ignoring the raw footage of your own. And that's unfair to yourself and your journey. Remember, there was a time when you dreamed of the life you're living now. Maybe it's not perfect, but you've come a long way. Every little progress, every small victory deserves appreciation. Life is not a competition, it's a personal evolution. The only person you need to compare yourself with is the one you were yesterday. If you're a little kinder, a little wiser, a little more peaceful today, that's progress. You're growing, even if it's not visible to the world. There's a beautiful example in nature that teaches us this lesson. Consider two fruits, a mango and an apple. The mango tree takes years to bear fruit, while the apple tree produces earlier. Does that mean the mango tree is less valuable? Not at all. When the mango season comes, everyone waits eagerly for its sweetness. That's how your success works too. It might come later than others, but when it comes, it will be worth the wait. Don't let someone else's timing make you doubt your value. Your moment will come when you are truly ready for it. Even in relationships, comparison destroys peace. You might see two people smiling in a photo and think their life is perfect, while you're struggling with yours. But remember, pictures don't show pain. Every relationship, no matter how beautiful it looks, has its share of misunderstandings, compromises, and patience. Instead of wishing for someone else's story, invest in writing your own with honesty and love. Growth in relationships happens when you focus on understanding rather than comparing. In work and success, the same principle applies. Some people's success seems instant, but that doesn't mean they're luckier. It means their journey required a different timeline. You might be on chapter 3 while they're on chapter 10, but your story isn't over yet. When you compare, you take your eyes off your path. You stumble, lose confidence, and delay your own growth. Instead, celebrate others. Let their success remind you that good things are possible, not that you are behind. The universe is abundant. Their win doesn't take away your chance. Comparison also clouds gratitude. When you're constantly looking at what others have, you forget what's already in your hands. Gratitude shifts that focus. It reminds you of your blessings, the job you once prayed for, the family that loves you, the roof over your head, the little joys that fill your days. When you count what's right in your life, comparison slowly fades away. You begin to see your path as sacred, your timing as perfect, and your journey as meaningful. There's a saying, the flower doesn't think of competing with the flower next to it. It just blooms. That's how you should live too. Let others bloom. Let them have their moments. Your time will come, and when it does, it will be magnificent. Instead of comparing, learn from others. Admire their growth, be inspired by their success, and stay patient with your own process. You are not late. You are not behind. You are simply being shaped for something that's meant uniquely for you. The irony of life is that when you stop comparing and start focusing on your own growth, that's when you actually move forward faster. Your energy shifts from insecurity to inspiration, from envy to effort. You stop running in someone else's race and start walking gracefully in your own. And that peace, that quiet confidence that your timing is right, is priceless. So the next time you feel discouraged because someone seems ahead of you, remember the rose and the lotus. The rose blooms in spring, the lotus in summer, and both are equally beautiful. You don't have to bloom first. You just have to bloom when it's your season, because your season is coming. It always does. Life has a way of giving everyone their moment to shine. So stop rushing, stop comparing, and trust that your time, your opportunity, your joy is on its way. And when it arrives, it will be everything you ever dreamed of and more. We live in a world where everyone wants to arrive at the destination, but very few are willing to walk the road. Everyone dreams of success, happiness, and peace. But when life takes time, when the road gets rough, or when the answers don't come immediately, we start doubting ourselves. We begin to wonder if we're moving in the right direction, or if life is even fair. But the truth is, the journey is what prepares us for the destination. The road, with all its twists, turns, and delays, is where we grow, where we mature, where we become strong enough to handle what's waiting for us. Without the journey, the destination would have no meaning. It's like wanting to enjoy the view from a mountain peak without climbing it. The climb is what makes the view beautiful. There is a story of a man who found a butterfly struggling to emerge from its cocoon. He felt sorry for it and decided to help by carefully cutting open the cocoon. The butterfly came out, but it couldn't fly. The man didn't realize that the struggle to come out of the cocoon is what strengthens the butterfly's wings. Without that process, it would never be ready to soar. That's exactly what happens to us when we try to rush through challenges or avoid the process of growth. The struggle you face today is not a punishment, it's preparation. Life doesn't test you to break you, it tests you to make you stronger, wiser, and more grounded. Think about the times when life didn't go as planned. Maybe you didn't get the job you wanted, or a relationship ended when you thought it would last forever. In those moments, it felt like the world was falling apart. But looking back, you realize those moments redirected you to something better. That delay, that heartbreak, that rejection, it wasn't a dead end. It was a detour leading you exactly where you were meant to be. Sometimes, what feels like life going wrong is actually life going right in disguise. When you stop fighting the timing and start trusting it, peace slowly enters your heart. One of the greatest lessons life teaches us is patience through waiting. waiting for your efforts to bear fruit, waiting for healing after loss, waiting for clarity in confusion. We all wait for something at some point, and it's easy to feel restless. But remember, even the seed doesn't turn into a tree overnight. It spends time underground, invisible, preparing its roots. The darkness beneath the soil is necessary for its strength above the ground. Just because you can't see progress doesn't mean growth isn't happening. Sometimes, the best parts of your life are growing quietly behind the scenes. In everyday life, we often mistake delays for denials. We pray for something, we work hard, and when results don't show up quickly, we lose faith. But life has its own rhythm. When things are delayed, it's not because you don't deserve them. It's because the right time hasn't arrived. A fruit picked too early is sour. A fruit picked in its season is sweet. That's how life works too. Every dream has its ripening season. If you receive something before you're ready for it, you won't be able to sustain it. Life gives when you are ready, not when you are restless. Sometimes, the waiting period feels unbearable because we see others moving ahead. We start thinking we're stuck. But remember, even an airplane stays on the runway for a while before it takes off. The longer it waits, the higher it can fly. Your delay is not your defeat. It's your preparation for something greater. What's meant for you will never pass you by, but it will come only when you're strong enough to carry it. The universe doesn't want you to have temporary joy. It wants you to have lasting fulfillment. And that requires time. In daily situations, you can see this principle at work. A student who fails an exam might feel crushed, but if they use that moment to learn discipline and focus, their next success will be far greater. A person who doesn't get a job they applied for might end up finding one that aligns better with their passion. A couple who faces misunderstandings might build a stronger bond because of the lessons learned through that conflict. Every delay, every detour, every disappointment is silently working for your growth if you choose to see it that way. Trusting the process doesn't mean sitting idle. It means giving your best every day and then letting go of the anxiety about outcomes. It means doing what you can and allowing life to do what you can't. When you trust that the timing of your life is perfect, even when you don't understand it, you start living with grace instead of worry. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What is this teaching me?" That one shift turns frustration into faith. It's easy to love the destination, the success, the peace, the love. But learn to love the road that leads there too, the late nights, the rejections, the small wins, and even the quiet moments of doubt. Because that's where you become the person who can handle the blessings you're asking for. The destination is just the reward. The journey is the real transformation. Every step you take, even the ones that feel uncertain, are shaping you into the version of yourself that's strong enough to stand tall when the moment arrives. So, when life feels slow, when it feels like nothing is moving, remind yourself the universe is not ignoring you, it's organizing things for you. Behind every delay, there's divine timing. Behind every no, there's a better yes waiting. Keep walking, even if the road seems endless. Because one day, you'll look back and realize that everything you thought was slowing you down was actually setting you up for something extraordinary. The road may be long, but the journey is worth every step. Good things take time, and what's meant for you will arrive, not a moment too soon or too late. Only when you and the moment are perfectly ready for each other. There are moments in life when everything feels uncertain, when plans fall apart, and when nothing seems to be going as expected. You pray, you plan, you work hard, and still life throws delays and detours in your path. In those moments, it's easy to lose hope, to feel that life is unfair or that your efforts are in vain. But what if, instead of being punished, you were being protected? What if those delays you see as disappointments are actually divine interventions, keeping you safe from something not meant for you? Sometimes, when God delays, He's not saying no, He's simply saying, not yet. Because what's truly meant for you will never miss you, but it will come only when you are ready to receive it. There's a beautiful story about a little girl who wanted a butterfly. One day, she saw a cocoon hanging from a branch and decided to wait for it to open. But she grew impatient. She wanted the butterfly right then. So she carefully broke open the cocoon, hoping to free it early. The butterfly came out, but it couldn't fly. Its wings were weak because it hadn't finished its process. The struggle inside the cocoon was necessary for its strength. The girl didn't realize that what looked like delay was actually preparation. Life is like that too. Sometimes, when you feel stuck, when you feel like nothing is happening, you are inside your own cocoon. You are growing unseen, building strength, and being prepared for the moment when you will finally fly. In our daily lives, we often confuse delay with denial. If something doesn't happen immediately, we assume it's not meant to be. But time and again, life proves that waiting has purpose. Think about the times you wanted something so badly: a job, a relationship, a dream, and it didn't work out. Maybe you were heartbroken then, but later, when something better arrived, you realize why it had to be that way. That's divine timing. That's the universe's way of aligning things in your favor, even when you can't see it yet. The closed doors, the unanswered prayers, the missed opportunities, they're not life rejecting you, they're life redirecting you. Imagine driving to a destination, but halfway there, you hit a red light. You could get frustrated, honk, and complain about the delay. But what if that red light is protecting you from an accident up ahead? You can't see what's beyond the intersection, but the universe can. That's how life works. The delays you curse might actually be the pauses that save you. The detours you dislike might lead you to something far better. What feels like a setback could be divine protection disguised as inconvenience. Sometimes, we are so obsessed with what we want that we forget to trust that there's a bigger plan at work. We hold on tightly to our timelines and expectations, but life has its own rhythm. When things don't go our way, we start to panic, thinking everything is falling apart. But what if it's actually falling into place? A delay is not a dead end. It's just a moment where life is rearranging things for your highest good. In daily experiences, you can see this everywhere. Maybe you missed a flight, only to discover later that something unexpected happened on that route. Maybe you didn't get the job you were hoping for, but months later, you found one that matched your passion perfectly. Maybe someone left your life and it broke you. But that pain made space for someone who truly sees your worth. Every delay, every rejection, every no has a reason, even if you can't see it right away. Faith is trusting that reason before it's revealed. There's a quiet wisdom in learning to wait without losing peace. It's easy to be calm when everything goes according to plan, but real strength shows when nothing makes sense and yet you choose to trust. When life delays you, it's not because you're being forgotten, it's because you're being fine-tuned. The right timing is not just about external circumstances, it's about internal readiness. You might want the blessing now, but are you ready to handle it? Are you strong enough, mature enough, grounded enough to sustain it? Sometimes, life withholds things not to punish you, but to prepare you. Think of it like baking bread. You can mix the dough perfectly, but if you take it out of the oven too soon, it's ruined. It needs that heat, that time, that process. In the same way, when you're waiting, life is baking you into who you're meant to be. The pressure, the delays, the waiting, it's all part of the process. When the timing is right, everything will come together so beautifully that you'll look back and say, "Now I understand why I had to wait." The truth is, the best things in life never come rushed. Flowers bloom when they're ready, rain falls when the clouds are full, and dawn breaks only after the darkest night. You can't force nature's timing, and you can't force life's timing either. What you can do is trust it. Keep doing your best, keep showing up, and let life unfold naturally. The waiting season might feel endless, but every second of it has meaning. Every delay is building patience, resilience, and depth in you. So, the next time life seems slow, remember you are not behind, you are being aligned. What's meant for you is not gone, it's growing. You may not see the full picture now, but one day you'll look back and realize that everything happened exactly when it was supposed to. Every no, every delay, every disappointment will make sense because it all led you to something better. Life's delays are not denials. They are the universe's way of saying, "Hold on, I'm preparing something extraordinary for you." So don't lose heart. Keep believing, keep trusting, and keep moving forward. The right moment is on its way, and when it arrives, it will be worth every second of your wait. Life often gives us moments that test our strength, times when we feel lost, broken, or uncertain. These moments come disguised as challenges, disappointments, or struggles, but deep inside them lies an opportunity to grow. Every struggle you face has a purpose far greater than the pain it brings. It may not be visible now, but each hardship is shaping you into the person you are meant to become. When we go through tough times, it's natural to ask, "Why me?" But if you look closely, those same experiences that once hurt you are the very ones that made you wiser, more compassionate, and more resilient. Struggles don't just happen to make your life difficult. They happen to make you stronger than you ever imagined. Think about how a diamond is formed. It doesn't appear shiny and perfect on its own. It starts as a piece of carbon, deep inside the earth, under immense pressure and heat. Without that pressure, without that struggle, it would remain just a piece of coal. It's the same with us. The pressures of life, the deadlines, the failures, the heartbreaks, the losses, are not meant to destroy us, but to refine us. They bring out the brilliance hidden within us. When life puts you under pressure, remember that you're not breaking, you're becoming. Every person you admire today has gone through struggles that shaped their greatness. The successful entrepreneur faced years of rejection before one idea worked. The artist you love probably spent sleepless nights doubting their own talent. The athlete who stands on the podium has endured pain, defeat, and endless practice. Their success isn't just built on talent. It's built on persistence through struggle. That's what makes their story powerful. The same is true for you. Your challenges are not roadblocks, they're stepping stones. In daily life, we often wish for everything to be easy, but ease never builds character. It's the hard moments that teach us our greatest lessons. When things fall apart, we learn patience. When people leave, we learn self-worth. When we fail, we learn resilience. Every storm that passes through your life leaves behind wisdom. Sometimes, it's only after the rain that you see how much you've grown. You start to notice how things that once made you cry no longer shake you. That's strength, that's growth, and it came from your struggles. Imagine a caterpillar inside its cocoon, struggling to break free. It pushes, it wriggles, it fights. From the outside, it looks like it's suffering, but that struggle is building its wings. If someone tried to help and opened the cocoon early, the butterfly would never fly. It would be too weak. The same is true for us. Our struggles are the gym where our soul builds its wings. Without them, we would never know the power we hold inside. When you face a challenge, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What is this teaching me?" That question changes everything. It turns pain into purpose and struggle into strength. Sometimes, the struggle isn't just about external problems but internal battles, fighting self-doubt, fear, or insecurity. Those battles are even harder because no one else can see them. But every time you silence that voice that says, "You can't," and take one more step forward, you're winning. Every time you fall but decide to rise again, you're growing. Struggle is not just about enduring pain. It's about transforming through it. Life's most powerful lessons often come wrapped in difficulty. When you lose something or someone, it teaches you gratitude. When you make mistakes, it teaches you humility. When you go through pain, it teaches you empathy. These qualities cannot be learned from comfort. They are born from struggle. The people who have known pain deeply are often the ones who bring the most light to others because they understand what it means to hurt. They've been through the fire and emerged with compassion. Every struggle also builds faith. When everything goes wrong and you still hold on, still believe, still hope, that's faith in action. It's easy to believe when life is smooth, but true faith is when you trust even in darkness. It's believing that something good is waiting on the other side of the storm. When you look back, you'll realize that every mountain you climbed made you stronger, every heartbreak made you wiser, and every delay prepared you for something better. Life's challenges are not here to break you, but to awaken your strength. In our daily routines, even small struggles shape us. Waking up early when you don't want to, staying disciplined when it's easier to give up, facing rejection and still trying again. These are the little battles that build greatness. It's not always about grand victories. Sometimes, surviving the day with your heart intact. is an achievement. Struggles refine our character quietly, teaching us patience, humility, and endurance. They turn us into the kind of people who can inspire others just by the way we live. Remember, even the mightiest trees were once fragile saplings that survived storms. They didn't escape the wind, they grew stronger because of it. You too are growing stronger with every challenge, even if you can't see it now. One day, you'll look back at your hardest times and realize they were the moments that shaped your spirit, the moments that gave your life depth and meaning. The pain that once felt unbearable will become the reason you can now smile and say, I made it through. So don't fear the struggle, embrace it. Let it teach you, mold you, and elevate you. Every tear you shed, every failure you face, every disappointment you endure, it's not wasted. It's watering the seed of strength within you. One day, that seed will grow into unshakable confidence, deep wisdom, and lasting peace. Struggle is not the end of your story, it's the beginning of your transformation. You may not see it now, but every challenge you face is guiding you toward the strongest, wisest, and most beautiful version of yourself. And when that version finally emerges, you'll understand that the struggle was never your enemy, it was your greatest teacher. So, my dear friends, next time you feel anxious or restless, remember this: the seed never doubts the sun. It just grows in silence, trusting that one day it will bloom beautifully. Keep watering your dreams. Keep believing in your journey. Good things are coming. Just don't rush, because what's truly yours is on its way.